Since regaining the gavel in 2018, the Pelosi's wealth has skyrocketed. That year, her financial disclosure report revealed a net worth of over $114 million. Then, in 2019, Pelosi's assets totaled up to a whopping $271 million. And in 2020, those numbers went up even more, to as high as $315 million bucks. Quite a lot of crumbs. So where's the money coming from?
Why am I showing you this around investigation of Nancy Pelosi financial dealings? Well, it's because a couple of months ago, I posted a video and sharing with you how her husband, through a fund, was purchasing tons and tons of shares of AMC. But in this story, guys, it's really interesting to see that since she joined Congress back in 1987, her husband, Paul Pelosi, and her have been perfectly timing exactly the right time to buy stocks like the Google, the Teslas, and exactly the right time to sell those stocks and even assets into the real estate world. And the reason behind these moves and the fact that they are actually holding AMC stock can definitely point you into a very bullish sign. So let's get into the details here. After she got married, Paul opened a real estate company and a venture capital firm, and through his connections, he pushed Nancy into the political world, helping her get elected to Congress in 1987. Well, since then, the net worth kept increasing, and right now it's sitting around a whooping $315 million. She's making a salary on the low six figures. So how in the heck are they able to actually grow this much money so quickly all over the years? But more interestingly, anytime she buys any stock, anytime she buys or her husband is buying a real estate property, it goes into the value, doubling. An example here will be that she met in 2007 with some of the Visa's top executive and the CEO before the company went public. Back then, it was very difficult for individuals to actually get shares prior to the company going public, even though today it's a little bit different. So Paul Pelosi got a phone call from his broker. He was in luck. Paul was offered a pre-screen invite to get into the earlies of the Visa's $18 billion IPO. Did Nancy and her husband hesitate? No, they bought between $1 million and $5 million worth of Visa stock. But it gets better because while Pelosi was a speaker, bills that would have hurt Visa stock price were blocked in the House. Visa shares going up over 200% during the time, making the Pelosi's a fortune on paper. In January, the Pelosi's got $1 million worth of Tesla stock right before Joe Biden announced the electric car incentives in June. The Pelosi family cashed in big time just before Congress was set to pounce on big tech. Pelosi exercised options on Google's parent company Alphabet, making an easy $5.3 million. In March, Paul exercised $2 million worth of Microsoft options just 2 weeks before the tech giant got a $22 billion contract to equip the US Army with high-tech headsets. So the Pelosi's have never been indicated of insider trading, but since, she got in Congress, her marriage investments and access combined with extremely fortunate timing have created a lot of suspicions. Now, this is the whole story. What does it have to do with AMC? Yes, let's jump into Fintel. So, Allianz is actually currently holding almost 500,000 shares at an average price of $33.44. If you jump into the details, the latest disclosed value was back in July 30th, where this company filed a 13F disclosing an ownership of 497,000 shares of AMC with a value around $28 million. Paul Pelosi, through his investing firm, is actually disguising their purchasing, their investments into some of the companies here in the US. And the very fact that this institutional is actually holding this much shares of AMC with the Pelosi's behind it is actually a very good sign, because guess what? because they never, ever, or tend to never ever lose any money into any investment they're making, either within the stock market or the real estate world. Maybe they know something we don't, all right? So that was a rumor back in, 4-5 months ago. But now with this investigation, it raises a lot of questions around what they're actually making. And as a matter of fact, guys, there is an app called Iris, a social app, investing app like Robinhood and Weibo, which someone actually built specifically to track all the investments that the Pelosi's are making in the stock market. People on TikTok were following those, and actually it worked because buying any stock the Pelosi's were buying finally made them to gain some money. So I'm just saying that the very fact that they are also here in AMC definitely means they might have some information we don't, or they knew that this will definitely go to a point where it is worth for them putting $28 million into AMC. So let's see if time gives us reason here, but definitely bullish sign moving forward.